Yeah, it was cool. It was cool because I know it was like too heavy. So
Yeah.
I think in the beginning of the camp, I was probably like,
The world of boxing has always been a hotbed for drama, and the recent confrontation between Yanni "Tank" Davis and Ken Davis proved that once again. What was supposed to be a professional face-off promoting their upcoming fight quickly escalated into an explosive brawl that left fans, promoters, and organizers stunned. The moment not only shook the boxing world, but blurred the lines between hype and a real rivalry, offering a glimpse into what could be one of the most intense matchups in modern boxing. Ken Davis, a rising star in the boxing world, has been making waves with his relentless determination and skill. From the outset, he wasn't shy about calling out Tank Davis, a multiple-time champion, widely recognized for his knockout power and skill in the ring. Ken's confidence grew with each victory, and he became increasingly vocal about facing Tank, even stating that Tank was the top guy he wanted to challenge. "I want to fight Tank," Ken declared confidently. "He's a great fighter, but I know what I bring to the table. If I touch him, it's a problem." For Tank Davis, the journey to success hasn't been without controversy. His career, both inside and outside the ring, has been marked by legal issues, personal struggles, and public feuds. Despite these distractions, Tank has managed to maintain his place among boxing's elite. Yet, the mounting controversies surrounding him and his fractured relationships with his mentors have contributed to a sense of personal and professional turbulence. Tank himself admitted that he needed to take control of his own career, distancing himself from Mayweather Promotions. "It's my career. I have to handle my own responsibilities," he said. The face-off between the two was supposed to be a routine promotional event, but as soon as the fighters stepped onto the stage, the energy was palpable. The crowd was buzzing with anticipation, the cameras flashing, and the tension was thick. Both fighters stood toe-to-toe, exchanging intense looks. It was clear this was more than just a promotional stunt. It was a clash of egos and wills. A wrong step, a misplaced word, and suddenly the face-off turned into chaos. The fighters charged at each other, and in an instant, what had been a controlled moment of tension erupted into a full-scale brawl. Security scrambled to contain the situation, but it was already out of control. Members of both entourages jumped in, adding fuel to the fire. The staged confrontation turned into a street fight in front of thousands of fans, turning the event from a promotional spectacle into something far more volatile. This brawl was not just a random scuffle. Ken and Tank had once shared a strong bond. They had trained together, spent hours in the gym, and built what seemed to be an unbreakable friendship. The two were once viewed as the future of boxing, Tank, the powerful knockout artist, and Ken, the young prodigy with immense potential. But as Ken started to gain more recognition in the sport, he began to distance himself from Tank. His growing success in the ring, combined with Tank's ongoing personal controversies, created a rift that was impossible to ignore. Ken's journey was now about more than just titles. It was about carving his own identity in a sport dominated by larger-than-life personalities. Ken's challenge to Tank wasn't just about a physical battle, it was a mental and emotional one. He wasn't just trying to prove that he was good enough to face Tank in the ring. He was fighting for respect in a world where dominance is measured not just by titles, but by persona. "I'm not afraid to fight Tank," Ken said. "I know who I am. I'm not playing games. If he wants to fight, send me a contract." Tank, for his part, wasn't intimidated. He had seen all the drama that surrounded him, both in his personal life and in the sport, and he wasn't going to let anyone undermine his status. But the confrontation exposed something deeper. Tank's ego was at stake. This wasn't just about boxing for him, it was about proving that he was still the top guy despite all the controversy. Things escalated further when Ken began training under the guidance of none other than Floyd Mayweather, Tank's former mentor. This was a bold move that added fuel to the already fiery rivalry. Floyd, who had trained Tank for years, had a deep understanding of Tank's fighting style, and now he was sharing that knowledge with Ken. Floyd's involvement wasn't just about training, it was a message to Tank. Ken was coming for his spot. Ken was quick to embrace his new training camp, recognizing that aligning with Floyd Mayweather could give him the edge he needed to challenge Tank. "I'm training with Floyd now, and I'm learning things that will help me take my game to the next level," Ken said. "Floyd's been through it all, and now I'm getting that same experience." The impact of Floyd's guidance on Ken's fight game was already becoming apparent. During a recent fight against Gustavo Lemos, Ken showed off a lethal combination of speed, power, and precision that had the crowd on its feet. Despite coming into the ring at a size disadvantage, Ken dominated Lemos, knocking him down 3 times in the second round before the referee stopped the fight. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement to the entire division. Ken Davis was ready for the next level. Following his victory, Ken wasted no time calling out Tank once again. "Tank, I'm coming for you," he said confidently. "You know what I'm capable of. If you want to fight me, send me a contract. Let's do this." Tank, who had been watching Ken's rise from a distance, wasn't thrilled with the constant calls for a fight. But as the tension mounted, it became clear that a showdown between the two was inevitable. The question was no longer if they would fight, but when and how. As Ken's career continued to rise, so did the expectations placed upon him. His confidence was evident, and he was gaining attention not just for his fighting skills, but for his larger-than-life persona. But with this newfound attention came increased pressure. Was Ken ready to face a fighter like Tank, who had been tested time and time again in the ring? Could he back up the trash talk and live up to the hype? Only time would tell. Tank, on the other hand, was dealing with his own set of challenges. His reputation in the boxing world had been built on his explosive knockout power, but his personal life and legal issues had often overshadowed his career. The constant scrutiny had taken its toll, and now, with Ken calling him out at every turn, Tank's resolve would be tested like never before. As the rivalry between Tank and Ken intensified, boxing fans eagerly awaited the day when the two would finally meet in the ring. It wasn't just about two fighters trying to prove they were the best. It was a battle for supremacy, a war for respect in a sport that has seen many legendary rivalries. The face-off between Tank and Ken Davis, despite its chaotic turn, was just the beginning of what could be one of the most anticipated fights in boxing history. Both fighters have something to prove, and the stakes are higher than ever. Whether this fight ends in triumph or disaster, one thing is certain: the boxing world will never be the same after the showdown between these two fierce competitors. The world of boxing has always been a hotbed for drama, and the recent confrontation between Yanni "Tank" Davis and Ken Davis proved that once again. What was supposed to be a professional face-off promoting their upcoming fight quickly escalated into an explosive brawl that left fans, promoters, and organizers stunned. The moment not only shook the boxing world, but blurred the lines between hype and a real rivalry, offering a glimpse into what could be one of the most intense matchups in modern boxing. Ken Davis, a rising star in the boxing world, has been making waves with his relentless determination and skill. From the outset, he wasn't shy about calling out Tank Davis, a multiple-time champion, widely recognized for his knockout power and skill in the ring. Ken's confidence grew with each victory, and he became increasingly vocal about facing Tank, even stating that Tank was the top guy he wanted to challenge. "I want to fight Tank," Ken declared confidently. "He's a great fighter, but I know what I bring to the table. If I touch